out of the inning, and then Chase Weiss just grounded out to Smith at third base for the first out in the top of the fourth, and now brings in Keegan Farnes. He takes the first pitch outside, ball one. Farnes reached on a fielder's choice and stole second base back in the second inning. Average is dipped down to 222 for the left-handed hitting second baseman. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Still working against Harrison Miller. Gave up 2 runs last inning, but now enters his 4th inning of work. He's given up 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors for Decatur, no runs, 4 hits, no errors for Lafayette. Fastball in the inner half, 2-1. Farnes came off the bench yesterday against the Cape Catfish, went 0 for 1 in his only at-bat. As another fastball misses away, and it's 3-1 the count. His last start came on Wednesday against Clinton, went 0 for 3 with a walk in that 8-6 loss to the Lumber Kings. 3-1 pitch off the plate, and Farnes is on with 1 out on the walk.
Yeah, we talked about it coming in. Miller, the walks weren't really an issue for him so far. As coming in, he had 18 in the third innings pitched across 4 appearances and only had given up 4 walks, but so far that is now free pass number 2. He's handed out 1 in each of the last 2 innings. So it might be starting to become a problem. It is a relatively hot day on the turf here at Loeb Stadium.
Now heading to second base is Farnes. Pitch inside to February, but the throw down from 6.
As coming into today, he had caught 4 of the 10 runners who tried to catch him, who tried to steal on him, and now he's 1 for 2 on the day.
1-1 the count to Moises February. February grounded out to third his first time up back in the second inning against Miller. February got the night off last night. He went 0 for 3 with an RBI and a walk in that win on the Dual and I-72 Thursday. 1-1 pitch, lined into left field. Valdez ranges overhand. He's got it to retire the side. Miller faces the minimum, gives up a 1-out walk, but a nice play from his catcher. Guns out a runner. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th here in Lafayette. Parker Phillips worked around a base runner getting to third base last inning, but he just faced 4. He's faced 4 in every inning, and he gets the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up here for the Aviators, who are trying to cut into this 2-0 deficit they face. But Phillips has been strong, has yet to walk anybody. He's just been throwing a lot of strikes, challenging these Aviator hitters.
Yeah, walks have been an issue. It seems like when he's given up walks, he gets base runners and then gives up a big hit. That's been a problem. He's not the only victim of that. That's been a problem for the Bean Ballers pitching staff in its entirety for most of the season. But he's done a really good job today. He's throwing strikes, and because of it, he's getting outs in the field. He's getting outs via the punch-out, and he's limiting base runners for the Aviators, which is already a potent offense. You don't need to be giving him more.
Coming into this game, the Aviators came in averaging 8 runs per game on 9 hits. Those 8 runs is 6th best in the Prospect League. They're hitting a 7th best, 276 as a team. So far they've got 4 hits, but no runs to show as of yet. And with a thin Decatur bullpen that has come out on the bus ride today, it's great to see Phyllis already into the 4th and looking to go deep. And that might be the first free pass. Gabe Boyd gets plunked in the back to lead off the 4th.
That is just a breaking ball that Phyllis undercooks. Doesn't quite get to break enough and nails it right into the back of Boyd. And now you got to deal with a base runner aboard to lead things off.
So Boyd is on to start the inning. Gives way to fellow All-Star Gavin Smith. 3 all-star hitters will represent the hometown Aviators here on Wednesday. The only all-star pitcher, Talon Myers. Smith, though, has been struggling these last 5 games. He's just 1 for his last 16, so that double was much needed as his average has dipped to 289. And he swings at a fastball. Lines it to center field. Abernathy to his left. He's got it on the run for the first out here in the 4th, robbing Gavin Smith of extra bases.
Yeah, Phyllis has gotten fortunate a few times with just ball placement where the ball's hit, as this one's blistered off the bat of Smith. Looks like it's destined for the right center alley, but Abernathy, plenty of closing speed, not too far away from it, tracks it down for out number 1.
Caden Martinez struck out swinging. He's the only strikeout victim from Parkerville here at home. He has enjoyed hitting at the friendly confines of Loeb Stadium. The 1-0 in the dirt again, blocked by Feliz once more. And it's a hitter's count for Martinez. Martinez has only played in 1 of the prior 3 games against Decatur, went 0 for 4. 2-0 breaking ball at the knees, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch from Phyllis. Swung, popped up, and out of the stadium. First strike 2. Gabe Boyd was stealing on the pitch, but he'll have to hightail it back to first base. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 4th is cloud cover, overcast skies begin to roll in here to Lafayette. The 2-2. Inside, full count. For Martinez, it's been an interesting season. From May 29th to June 5th, he had a 5-game hitting streak. Since June 5th, he has not had back-to-back games with another payoff pitch. High inside, ball 4. Second free pass of the inning issued from Phyllis puts 2 men aboard with 1 away.
Yeah, if you're Phyllis, you just got to find the zone here. It's towards the bottom of the order now, so I would just look to attack.
Tony's out of the first base dugout for Decatur, coming out and talk to Phyllis. Been a little erratic to start this 4th inning. A hit by pitch, and then a walk issued to Caden Martinez.
Yeah, it seems like Phyllis might almost be trying to be a little too perfect. He might be trying to paint the corners a little too much. He's seen some hard contact and has found the Bean Ballers gloves today, but might want to avoid that going forward, and he's trying to paint the corners, get swings and misses, and ends up giving free passes because of it. So might just need to go back to the basics, play catch with your catcher, and throw strikes because you got a good defense behind you.
Well, he's got a smile on his face. He gave a hug to his shortstop, Moises Febriette. Sure, Moises was saying, hey, give the ball to me. Get the ball to me.
Neither runner has advanced.
2 away for Derek Ruiz. Just making his 3rd Michigan Monarchs. 1-0 pitch, dribbled in front of the mound. Passing ballers still in front. 2-0.
It's Harrison Miller back to the mound for the Lafayette Aviators, who trail your Decatur Bean Ballers 2-0. Daniel Herzog, Truman Griesel back with you on the official YouTube channel of the Decatur Bean Ballers. And for Decatur, it's bottom to top 9-1-2. Brandon Schultz, Brandon Abernathy, and Will Applegate due up to the plate. The Bean Ballers plated both runs back in the third inning. Will Applegate had an RBI single to score Brandon Schultz, who had walked and stole a base. Shows bunt, bunts it back to the mound. Miller fields it, tosses to first in time to get Schultz and steal away a base hit. And for Schultz, that's just a little too close to the mound. You want to put that a little.
Facing Miller.
First pitch to Has it, tosses to his all-star teammate Boyd. Has it, tosses to his all-star teammate Boyd across the diamond for out number 2. A 5-3 putout. And they're 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Will Applegate now to the plate.
Yeah, I've been really impressed by the way that Gavin Smith plays the hot corner. He really reads hops well. He doesn't get very many short hops. He gets those big favorable hops. And he's got a can of an arm on that right side of his body to make plenty of throws from wherever he's ranging to.
Seen a few from him today. The Bean Ballers go 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. We go to the bottom half of the Bean Ballers go 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. We go to the bottom half of the inning. Still 2-0 Decatur leads. We're halfway home here at Loeb Stadium on the 4th of July. 250 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And we got the Decatur Bean Ballers here in Lafayette, Indiana against the host Aviators. And your Bean Ballers have the lead 2-0 as Parker Phillips is on the mound looking for his 5th. As Parker Phillips is on the mound looking for his 5th inning of work. And for Phillips, he'll face 9-1-2 DH. Looped in the air down the right field line. It hooks foul and off the side of the brick clubhouse. So now it's an even 1 ball, 1 strike count to Frey. And overall, Frey comes in hitting just 182. This is game 21, start 20 for him. Takes a ball inside, ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And you want to get the leadoff out here because you got Bo Caraway on deck, who's got a couple of hits off Phyllis. If you can face Bo Caraway, nobody on, that'd be great.
Next pitch runs away. It's ball 3, and Frey is ahead in the count, 3-1. Phyllis, who does sometimes run into free pass issues, didn't give up his first free pass.
But I feel like he's really figured out his arming after he struggled in the field about the first week of the season. Moises was here. He's really figured out, and wherever Gabe Arroyo's put him, whether that's been at short.
1 ball and no strikes to Caraway, who's 2 for 2 with a pair of infield singles. The first of the bunt variation, and the second one on a ground ball to Febriette. Has already stolen 2 bases today. The 1-0. Caraway swings and misses, chases a high fastball, evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. And for Caraway, those were stolen bases.
I like that fastball elevated. Raise the eye level of Caraway. See if he goes back to it or looks for that back foot breaking ball.
Caraway, a Lone Star State native from Cypress, Texas. Spent his freshman season at Baylor University. The 1-2 upstairs, and Caraway does not extend the strike so far at Loeb Stadium. Back on May 31st, he went 2 for 5 with 2 doubles. As the payoff pitch runs inside, and he's reached for the 3rd time today, this time on a walk. And the speedy Caraway is on base with 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, it's just a tough at-bat. You had him down a ball and 2 strikes, but Caraway's a good hitter. I mean, there's a reason he's at Baylor playing in Division I, Big 12 baseball. Just saw Kansas make a super regional. The Big 12, a very competitive conference, and it's his plate discipline. You know, even though he's down 1-2, did not phase him at all. Has a great sense of the strike zone. Now you got to contend with speed on the base pass. Stole 2 bases last time he was on.
Phyllis takes several peeks over at Caraway before coming set.
Opponents get on base against the Bean Ballers. They must substitute the balls with something sticky on the catcher's hand that they just can't throw them out.
The 0-1 from Phyllis. Potts takes upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Potts comes in. This is the 24th game he'll be playing. He's a native of Jefferson City, Tennessee. Attended Erskine College last season, which was his junior year. The 1-1 to the plate. A fastball on the outside corner for strike 2.
Yeah, I've got some trivia for you, Daniel. Jefferson City is the name of one of the great 50 states of the United States of America's capital city.
Missouri.
You are correct.
Don't test me with capitals, Truman.
Oh, really? Okay,
Really?
yeah, okay.
Really? Or you're welcome to test me with capitals. The 1-2 to Potts. Runs upstairs on a breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Really? You in state capitals?
Yeah, stuff like that. State capitals, March Madness brackets, stuff of that matter.
This is the real stuff that's important to this country.
The 2-2, swing and a miss. Potts chases a breaking ball on the outside edge. Phyllis is pumped up on the mound. For him, overall today, that is just his 2nd strikeout. The first since the 2nd inning.
You know, I'm glad, Daniel, that you are a true American because I just had an article sent to me from one of my good friends that said 46% of Americans are unaware of the July 4th meaning.
Wow. Really? 46%. Valdez to the plate, swings and misses at the first pitch he sees.
I mean, I feel like it's safe to assume, jumping from that most people, especially our age, can name more Kardashians than U.S. presidents.
Possibly. Valdez lines this into left field. Schultz picks it up, but by the time he does, Bo Caraway is halfway home. He scores the first run for the Aviators today on an RBI.
Home and been safe, but you still have a 1-run lead. Get this 3rd out, get through 5 innings. And then you can maybe turn it over the bullpen or maybe squeeze out a 6th from Phyllis. Because, again, with this 3-day break, I'd imagine as long as Phyllis is getting outs and not giving up runs, they'll let him creep up to that 95-pitch threshold.
Phyllis tasked with getting the final out. The first pitch to Gabe Boyd is swung on and missed. Grounded into a double play his first time up, then was hit by a...
They still over 10 bases against the Bean Ballers, and it's just something you can do, and it's kind of those free bases that they're giving up, but with 2 outs.
The 1-2 Boyd takes upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you talk about it. 113 stolen bases coming into today for the Aviators. Opponents have just 85. Meanwhile, for Decatur, they've been stolen on 105 times and only have Sin Valdez. Deals home. 2-2. Chopped foul at the plate. Looks like it might have Valdez. Deals home. 2-2. Chopped foul at the plate. Looks like it might have grabbed a piece of the umpire as Felice checks on him. Seems to be okay.
Not sure how Boyd nicked that. He was out on his front foot. I mean, he was down to a knee. Somehow doesn't swing through it and gets a piece of it. That was a fantastic pitch from Parker Phyllis. Unfortunately, it was a foul ball.
Still a 2-2 count. Bean Ballers infield shading Boyd to pull. The 2-2. Chopped left side. Fabriette fields it. Tosses across to first in time. Dug out by Snitko. A nice play on the back end to retire the side. Valdez is stranded in scoring position, but the Aviators get a run on his RBI single. We go to the 6th inning. It's still 2-1. The Bean Ballers have the lead.
Top of the 6th here on the 4th of July. Game just flying by between the Flyboys of Lafayette and your Decatur Bean Ballers. Aviators got to run back in the bottom half of the 5th. So the Bean Ballers lead has been cut in half, now just 2-1 as we enter the top of the 6th. 3-4-5, Felice, Snitko, Miller getting their third crack at Harrison Miller, who has been very good outside of the 2 runs he gave up in the 3rd.
Yeah, Truman, this is going to be a really crucial inning for Decatur if they want to leave Lafayette with a victory. You finally got scored on. The floodgates have opened. They're just cracked for the Aviators. Now you got a chance to respond and tack on some insurance.
First pitch swung on and missed from O'Neal Felice for strike 1. He picked up his 25th hit in the 3rd, stranded at second base. Miller from the first base side of the rubber. The 0-2 pitch. Grounded up the middle and into center field. Nice 2-strike hitting from O'Neal Felice, and he leads off the Bean Ballers 6th with a knock.
Yeah, this pitch to Felice is away, but it's plenty high, well above the knees, and Felice reaches out, extends fully, and blasts this one up the middle, and there was just a gaping hole as Frey was playing Felice to Paul Ruiz was playing Felice well towards the first base side. There's a gaping hole up the middle, and Felice plugs that hole. Leadoff runner aboard for the Bean Ballers.
Brings in Jackson Snitko. Snitko 1 for 2 on the day. His single came back in the 2nd. He takes a strike on the infielder, who makes the catch for the first out here in the 6th.
Yeah, this is a pitch sort of right where Snitko wants it. Maybe a bit below his happy zone. It's middle in, maybe low and in, and just...
Jackson Miller, the Decatur hitter, took the first battle in the 2nd. He singled, but then struck out swinging in the 3rd. 1-0. Line in the air to left. Valdez ranges back. And he makes the grab for out number 2. 2 flyouts after the leadoff single from Felice. M is up and away. Weiss 0 for 2, a flyout and a ground out on his line thus far. Pitch is way outside. 2 balls and no strikes to the Bean Ballers right fielder. Playing right field today, the first new right fielder in a while for Decatur. Misael Maldonado had anchored that position, but last night was Maldonado's last game with the Bean Ballers. So now Gabriel has had to look elsewhere. Pitch fouled off the plate from Weiss, 2-1.
Yeah, now after having an infielder shortage with injuries to Jagger, Snitko, Isaac Flowers throughout this season, now you have an outfielder shortage as Maldonado, Trevor Geis is injured.
Weiss lines one into left field. So Weiss collects hit number 4 in a Bean Ballers uniform, and he has come in and made an immediate...
Decatur now up to 6 hits on the day.
Keegan Farnes looks to add to it. A base hit into center field. It's going to fall. O'Neal Felice rumbles around 3rd. He will score, and the Bean Ballers answer the Lafayette run, bringing the lead back to 2, now 3-1 Decatur.
Yeah, this is a great piece of hitting. He gets a fastball middle away and puts it middle away, puts it into left center, and Caraway needs to range far over enough, and he hits from the left side but fields from the right side, so that's away from the glove. Needs to make a backhand stab at it. Definitely had no chance to get Felice at the plate, and the Bean Ballers mount a 2-out rally and take back a 2-run lead.
A much-needed hit for Farnes brings in Moises Febriette. He swings at the first pitch but comes up empty, strike 1. It's Farnes' 15th hit and his 7th run batted in. He had been 2 for his last 21, his last 8 games, but he's 1 for 2 today with a walk. Hyde into shallow right. Off the bat of Febriette, Drew Potts. He squeezes it with one hand to retire the side, but 3 hits in the inning, and Keegan Farnes draws more blood, drives in a run. We're into the home half of the 6th here in Lafayette. It's 3-1 Decatur. Decatur is the first team to make a move to the bullpen here across 16 innings pitched. And he got 2 outs yesterday against the Cape Catfish, but then he was removed when the game became a real blowout. So he should be fresh today, just his second appearance of the week, and he'll look to go a couple innings as this Decatur bullpen is a little thin in terms of guys that made the trip, but Ruiz has been one of the reliable arms for Arroyo.
Yeah, Truman, we've talked about how the Bean Ballers hitting has been really strong against starting pitching, and once you get into the bullpen, it's really struggled. Meanwhile, for Bean Ballers pitching, outside of the win against Springfield on Thursday, it's been a real struggle so far as a whole. Not just the starters, not just the relievers, but both of those throughout this week. So it's really important that the Bean Ballers got another run back in the 6th and take the lead back to 2 as they turn it over to their bullpen.
Ruiz had one of his best outings of the year Tuesday in Danville. Gave up just 1 run on 2 hits across 2 innings, but struck out 4. He gets 5, 6, 7, starting with Gavin Smith. First pitch from the righty Ruiz, breaking ball misses downstairs. Ruiz works from the first base side of the rubber, and he's known as Decatur's finest stuff guy. Not going to blow you away with velocity, but he just gets outs. 2-0 pitch, swung and a miss late on the fastball.
Yeah, that's the benefit of having missed with back-to-back breaking balls. You can just speed him up with a fastball, and Smith a little behind. It might have been a little off the plate, but swings and misses can't catch up to the change in speed.
Ruiz fires. Upstairs, 3 balls and a strike. This is the second time this season Ruiz is pitching against the Aviators, but you have to go all the way back to opening night, May 26th. Went 3 innings, gave up just 1 run on 3 hits, which was an eventual 10-5 Bean Ballers loss. The 3-1.
Dans, the walks are what did him in, as he couldn't quite finish it out, and then Bruno Banuelos couldn't quite finish it out either. The Bean Ballers ended up losing. That was their 9th game of the 10-game losing streak, but starts things off with a walk today.
First pitch is bunted in the air from Caden Martinez off the netting behind the plate for strike 1. For Ruiz, that's his, on the season, his 7th walk, but he's now walked 4 batters in just his last 3 2/3 innings pitched, compared to 3 his first 13 innings. Gives a check over at first on Gavin Smith, dives back in safely. Martinez does represent the tying run, and he does have a couple of home runs on the year. The 0-1 from Ruiz. Smith to second base. The pitch is up. The throw is late. And yet another stolen base for the Flyboys.
Yeah, Ruiz on the mound is probably one of the easier guys to steal on if you're Decatur, because he doesn't really incorporate a slide step. It's a lot of a big leg kick. Allows runners to get a big jump, as he's one of the slower guys to the plate. He has been really good at getting outs, but when you're on the base pass, it's a little easier to steal bases on.
1-1 pitch downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Pitch home. Upstairs. Another 3-ball count to open this inning. Sage Adams on deck.
Now with Smith's at-bat, which was also a 5-pitch walk, he started out down 0-2, or rather down 2-0, but this at-bat, Ruiz started out with a first-pitch strike, and now it's been 3 straight balls.
Hitters count. Payoff pitch.
Plate, over the middle for Ruiz, and Martinez absolutely jumps on it, just a little too out in front. Can't quite keep it fair, otherwise that would have been trouble for the Bean Ballers. And now Jackson Snitko is going to hug that line. Keegan Farnes ranging even further towards first base.
Still 3-2. The 7th pitch of the at-bat. Ruiz delivers. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Decatur thought he went, but it's back-to-back walks to open up the Lafayette 6th.
After Ruiz, at least you did get back into that at-bat, but now you got the tying runs on first. if the Aviators score the runner on second, they cut the lead in half, and that was one of the closest check swing calls. I'm glad I'm not the one on the field having to make that call, because it was certainly very close, could have easily gone either way, but if you're Ruiz, you're just shaking your head that you didn't get that call, and now you got a pitch to Adams.
You have to think, did go into the bullpen after just 5 innings of Parker Phillips, who just threw 69 pitches. And against this part of the order, he had just given up 1 hit and a walk to Smith, Martinez, and Adams. I think Gabe Arroyo might have pulled the trigger too early on the bullpen. Sage Adams.
He might have grabbed it a little too early, but nonetheless, it is strike one, and now he's going to be playing just a little further in.
Both him and Applegate are on the grass. Keegan Farnes around to the right. Adams squares early. Ruiz delivers, but Adams pulls back as the pitch is low. He was 0 for 2 against the starter, Parker Phillips. He does have 2 runners, and it's a much-needed out number 1 recorded by Daniel Ruiz.
Yeah, you said it, Truman. This is a huge out to get. Adams swings away. He gets plenty of this one, but it's just right at Abernathy. Doesn't have to go far, makes the catch, and it's not deep enough for Smith to tag at second. And there's 1 out. You didn't advance either of the runners, and now you have 8-9 up.
Starts with Derek Ruiz. The battle of the Ruizes. No relation. First pitch from Daniel. Downstairs, and Derek Ruiz looks at it for ball 1.
Did Daniel tell you that there's no relation, or are you just assuming?
Yes.
You're just yes.
Yes.
Both?
A ball,
Okay.
no strikes, 2 men aboard. Just 1 out in the home half of the 6th. Fastball upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Ruiz
Now they're 2 away.
for the 9-hole hitter,
Now they're 2 away.
Diego Frey. He's grounded out twice. Swings and fouls the first pitch off to the backstop. You think this is the guy you have to get. Bo Caraway on deck. You do not want to face him. Face him with a clean inning to lead off the 7th, not with multiple men aboard in the 6th. Ruiz comes set. He checks at second. Checks again. Now delivers. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Frey.
That is a good fastball. Up and just slightly off the plate. Frey can't quite hold up.
Ruiz, but he gets out of it. Throws up a 0 in the 6th. Keeps the lead intact. We're headed to the 7th here in Lafayette. Your Bean Ballers still on top, 3-1. Clouds have rolled in here at Loeb Stadium as we begin the top of the 7th. The lights are beginning to turn on. You have to think for the fireworks that could be on later. You know, maybe some rain might be in the forecast. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully the fans here in Lafayette and across the great United States, all 50 states, can enjoy their fireworks. But here, Bean Ballers looking to put up more fireworks in the 7th. They lead 3-1. Harrison Miller still on the mound. Gave up a run last inning. It'll be 9-1-2 to greet him. And when Abernathy and Applegate come to play, it'll be the 4th time they're seeing the right-handed mustached man, Harrison Miller. Brandon Schultz swings the first pitch, dribbles it to second. Derek Ruiz has got it underhand, flips to first. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the 7th.
Yeah, Truman, this part of the order has been what has led off now 3 times in a row. The first time, Decatur plated 2 runs back in the 3rd. The second time, they went 1, 2, 3 back in the 5th. So Decatur again looking for more insurance. What will the Bats do in this inning?
Brandon Abernathy hitless through 3 at-bats against Harrison Miller. First pitch in the 4th.